All nation, how do you like that W? 40-13, Tennessee over LSU. We're gonna break it down in today's episode. This is like we're recording this literally like an hour after Tennessee's win, so raw emotion here for us. I think this is episode 6 now. Be sure to follow us on our socials, on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all at VolBoyz Podcast. That's boys with a Z. I'm joined today by Levi and Carver. Or, sorry, Andrew.
Yo.
Yo, yo,
Say what's
yo!
up.
Go
Okay, yes,
Balls!
sir.
Go Gators! Go Gators!
Yes, sir.
I'm just kidding.
Big dub, guys.
Go Balls,
Big
baby.
dub.
Big dub.
And they
We
thought
are
it was going
hyped
to
in
be
here.
a field goal.
We are hyped. Let's do a quick recap of the game, guys. Let's go over some takeaways from
Dude,
this one.
that beginning to that game was insane. Dude, let me just say, I was not expecting that. It was like that was the best thing that could have happened. Not only
Literally just like Ball State. Best thing could have happened in like
No.
the first minute.
no, but it's even better because
Yeah.
because they don't get the ball at all. I mean, actually, no, it's about the same. But the perfect thing is we get the ball back, we score. But not only that is we're gonna get the ball in the second half too. So it's just perfect. So basically we had possession at the beginning of both
Yeah.
halves, which is
Big
great
advantage.
because I love starting with the ball in the second half. But big dub.
I mean, dude, the defense balled out today. Offense played a good game as well. Most complete game of the season comes on the road against an SEC opponent. 27-point
Top
win.
25 SEC opponent. Don't forget that.
Top
In
25.
Death
Three-
Valley, considered one of
three
the
top
hardest places
25
to play in
wins.
college football.
Hey, that was
All-
this weekend. That wasn't Death Valley.
And they
that,
left by
that
the
was
third quarter.
that was
That was
Neyland
Big
South.
Orange Country, man.
That
That
was
was Neyland Stadium.
Dude, that was Neyland South.
The
Neyland
greater
and,
Neyland South.
Dude, Neyland and Neyland and Louisiana. Dude,
I mean, come on, man. Like Smoky Gray is looking clean too.
dude, I love
That was hype to see. It reminded me so much of the 2016 season. Just
Yeah, and y'all
seeing that.
notice LSU wore the whiteout too. They were a
I know.
special edition.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I was telling Levi before we started the podcast, this team is so much better than the 2016 team, which in our lifetime was the best team we've ever seen as far as Vols football goes. I just have a feeling this team is so much better. They've showed it to us, I think. Obviously, you know, the 2016 team broke down at the end of their season. We've got a lot of football left to play, but right now, man, we've shown we finish games, we dominate, and I'm just so excited right now. Andrew, you got any
Dude,
takeaways,
yeah.
man?
I'm just gonna say our defense played complementary football to our offense today, which we need. We don't have to have the best defense, you know. With the offense we have, just enough to create stops, and that's what they did today. Unfortunately, me and you both, Trevor, were at work, so Levi got to watch the full game. I went back and actually
Hey,
watched
whoa.
the first half. But
About that, I did watch the whole game, but I had to go to a funeral because somebody in my family had passed away, or not my family, a family friend had passed away, and so, but after that funeral, I came back and started watching another one, which was LSU's funeral to the boys.
R.I.P.
Vols by 27. LSU season hopes. That's what the funeral.
Hey, LSU,
And-
LSU, baby.
And all I'm gonna say is like, it's bad that I was still worrying when we're up that much in the fourth that
Dude,
somehow
that's just
Tennessee's
Tennessee.
gonna blow it.
I had no worries.
Battered
I had
ball
no
syndrome.
worries, man.
Yeah.
Vol syndrome.
But
Shout
I
out
think,
talking Vols,
dude, guys,
man.
we're turning the corner here for sure. Next week, obviously, the big test. Bama expected to be undefeated going in next weekend with us, and we're going in undefeated as well. It's going to be a good game. Knoxville's going to be crazy.
Dude,
You thought the Florida game was crazy. This one's going to be big.
dude, I wish.
Get
I
the
could go to that
cigars
game so
ready,
bad.
man. It's going to be insane.
We've got all the momentum going into that game too. I mean, like this is our best game we played all season, most complete game. Defense had what? Let's see, 9 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks. Offense played lights out, like we thought that they would, like they should have played. And I mean, oh man, it's going to be hard for anyone in the country to stop this Vols offense.
I love this
And dude,
team, man.
the defense stepping up too. Like, who's
Hyatt, best game of
realistically?
his season, I feel like. I mean, yeah, I'm throwing out Ball State, and that's just cupcake games, all right? He finally did what he's wanting to do. Obviously, he ain't nowhere done, you know?
Dude,
But scoring the two
boy.
TDs, I mean, Brew went off.
I mean,
He's
dude,
consistently gotten better, I feel like,
Jabbar, dude,
at Tennessee.
everyone played good. Everyone played good.
Yeah.
and we did it all without Cedric Tillman once again, and he might be back for the Bama game, guys. Like, what?
Yeah,
What is
expected to
this
be back.
offense going to
So.
look like with our best receiver?
I still think you play Ramel Keaton a little bit too, guys. I mean,
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
he played great too. I think you got to rotate him into that
Dude,
that
He
offense
had two
too. I
catches,
think he's
two
proved
catches,
it.
but also almost had that. He almost had that one in the end zone, but obviously that PI call. I don't know if you guys saw
Yeah.
that, but almost a great play by him to catch that. But I think he had two catches, 19 yards.
Yeah,
Both
and
of those
they
might
were
have been a
spreading
first
the way.
down.
Hinton was spreading the ball today. It looked like he
Yeah.
was looking both sides of the
Dude,
field a
Squirrel
lot.
White
So
came in for a few plays and got us a first
Yeah,
he
down.
did.
Some good plays.
I like to see that too. Yeah, he's a speedster
got
for
D
sure.
Williams.
dude.
D Williams. I don't know about defensively. I honestly was not paying attention, but
Yeah,
I don't know
or
if
to
he
like
played.
him on defense, but
I don't even know if he came in really much on defense, but that kick
Yeah.
return, that kick return was good.
yeah, the kick return, like just for special teams, what he can give us.
guys,
Obviously,
both
he's
of
no
our
Bayless,
first
but
drives started like within the 30 or 20 yard line.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really what helped
I
us
mean,
too. You know.
D. Williams, we've been missing that all year from the punt return standpoint. No offense to Trayvon Flowers, but I don't. He doesn't seem like the guy that's got the vision that D. Williams
He-
seems to have. So
he
vision or
was-
speed, honestly,
He
but
was basically the best option we had at the time. There wasn't any better.
for sure.
Squirrel
I agree.
White was the only other option, and he's a.
And didn't he have a good return? Didn't he have a
did,
good return
but
whenever
it
he
was
was in?
Yeah, but it was against like a bad team though. It was
I
like
mean,
Akron
yeah,
or
but
something.
still, I mean,
But the thing was with Squirrel, they were worried because I guess he was a freshman. But so Trayvon, they just put more trust. But with D, he's not a freshman, and he's a good kick returner. So
I was
Put
I
it-
was really excited to see that like Hooker didn't have to do it all by himself. Like
yeah,
we had the run game today. Besides
Look, if you
besides
look at the
Hooker,
stat
we rushed for 200 yards.
like
Besides
passing
Hooker's rushing yards too.
and rushing,
Jabari
I
had a
think
good
was
game.
it was 200s. It was very even. And when you do that to a defense, they don't know what you're going to throw at them because they have no idea. They can't physically stop it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just a fact. When
Jabari
you're
had
running the
two
ball good and
huge
you're throwing
runs.
good, yeah. I mean, there's really nothing you can do defensively. I mean, you're just straining, super hard.
Combine that with the tempo and defenses are just lost.
And I thought we
out
played
there.
a great game at the end was slowing the game down. We took 7-8 minutes off the
Dude.
clock in that fourth quarter. Amazing.
Eight-man
They
drive.
had to have practiced that in the bye week because like against Florida we couldn't do that. But
Nope.
they looked like they were natural at it during this game.
Dude.
They did so good. I was proud.
It goes back to the maturity of this offense. Last season, if we weren't scoring within like 3 minutes, we're off rhythm. We're out of sync.
Yeah.
This season, guys, I mean, 9-minute drive, and there was a couple times where we needed to extend the drive, and we did
Dude.
on fourth down, third down. Princeton Fant carried a man
Dude, they
to
just-
get that first down.
LSU could not get us off the field for the life of them.
No,
They couldn't.
and it was the
Yeah,
opposite.
and
We were
that's
able to
something
get
that
off.
Tennessee fans can understand and relate to with Tennessee's defense not getting us off the field, you know?
The
Yeah.
thing is,
So-
though, is our defense. I think our defense is a really good defense, other than the secondary. The secondary is
I know.
so bad.
Yeah.
They
Dude,
leave
and
people
guys-
wide open, and it's frustrating.
This game, we're able to get off the field on third and fourth down. I don't know if they
Yep.
had a fourth down conversion all
Yep.
game.
A good,
Even fourth and short, fourth and one, we
good-
stopped them behind the line of scrimmage.
yeah, a big part of that was our D line is really freaking good, and
Yeah.
we got a lot of sacks this game. The pressure was. The thing is it was like this game was kind of like our defense was a combination of the Pitt game and the Florida game because we played off a little bit, but we also did a lot of freaking pressure the whole game too. So it was like
We're
it was
playing our
like a
best
good
ball.
mix.
I mean,
Props to Banks, man. Fixing that stuff in the bye week and just giving us a better defense this week. It's been solid. It looks a couple different definitely a couple different techniques and stuff that they've implemented, it looked like, into the game this week. But just
Dude,
cleaning
Jeremy
up some of the
Banks-
penalties and some of the things that we had going for it. Because there was a couple times when we had them even held again and we kind of gave them the first down because, or better yardage to get the first down, because of face. I think we had like a couple face masks called, and
Yeah.
a couple other different things. But that's just the way our defense plays. They play really aggressive, man.
It goes back to bend don't break though. I mean, we've talked about it all season, especially during that pick game. You
Yep.
saw us like give up yards. We gave up yards in this game. They had 300 yards passing. Turn around and like 13 points on the scoreboard because we're forcing them into fourth down situations and they weren't able to convert. And that really is the difference in the game. I think is just forcing those fourth downs and then getting off the field.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I
Tackles
think
for
when you,
lost were huge, though. I
yeah,
mean, getting them behind the sticks,
yeah,
that
the
forces
sacks,
them into
getting home.
bad
We talked about it.
scenarios.
Getting home. That D
Yeah,
line getting home. They got home a good bit. Yeah, they gave up some scrambles and things, but when you're getting home like you did in this game, the way they were able to do it, Joseph's doing good. Byron Young, Tyler Barron, twisting and turning the O line, just creating pressure for Daniels.
that's
It's
also
a game
just
changer,
scheme,
dude. Yeah,
scheme too. The play calling
yeah.
to get them, to get those.
Bringing different
Uh,
guys. They rotated
yeah,
I don't know if y'all noticed. They rotated
a
a
lot of
ton of guys
guys.
in on the D line, dude. They do that more often than what I even thought. But it's paying off when you get fresh guys in with fresh legs. It's great. And I think going back, just talking overall, when you look from the pit game to where Tennessee's at now, we're exactly where we want to be when we want to be. We're getting to that midseason
Yeah.
form, where we're
Yep.
we're playing the best football that
And
we
we're
possibly
playing
could possibly
the
play.
hardest part of our schedule right now
Yeah,
And
too,
we've
coming
exactly.
beat
up.
Go ahead.
we've beat three top 25 teams, and yeah, I know all three of them aren't going to be in the top 25 anymore after we just beat
Pitt's
LSU.
out now, man.
But
Hey,
still, I don't
two
care.
of
Like
those are
still,
on the road, and one of those is a rival that we haven't beat in
yes,
I'm not
forever.
gonna lie, guys. I think we play better away than we do at Neyland.
still
I
we
think
might
it's so loud there.
Well, we
the
didn't play very good
defense.
against Pitt, but
Yeah, that game was just
I
kind
mean,
of both
it was a weird
teams
game.
both teams
But
kind of
going back real quick, I just want to talk
yeah.
talk about Joshua Josephs real quick, man.
Dude, that sack.
Every time that guy is in the game, he's around the football. He he is a like just naturally gifted. Like his speed to get around the edge. I mean, he's
Yeah,
putting pressure. It doesn't even seem like he plays that much. It
No.
it seems like he's solely a pass rusher. Like third down situations, he's in there getting to the QB every single time. It feels like he's in the game. I mean, he had that sack. He only had two tackles. It just seems like he has a huge impact on the game for not being in there that much. He's still young too,
Yeah.
which is crazy. All right. If you guys want to, we can talk about more specific positives. Let's have a couple positive takeaways from the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Uh, if you want to start us out, Levi, you can go for it.
Yeah, first positive take was I'd say just the way the offense played. It was just great. I mean, I honestly think they could have played better, but still, even then, I think they played good, played great. Um, trying to think of running game, the run game. Gosh,
Yeah,
if we could run like that every single game, it's gonna be unstoppable, man.
chaos.
Because I feel like that's been a big problem in our, especially the pit game, is the run game, and now it showed me that we can run. Um, I mean, I'm hoping that's more of just our running backs were good, unless the LSU defense just isn't that good at run defense. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the stats, but honestly, I'm just proud of the offense. And then you go to the defensive side of the ball. It's like with the defense, it's like they're doing good for what they've got, and the secondary is the big problem. And I've said it all season long, but the secondary, the thing is I still think they're playing as good as they're going to be able to, but the D line is just so good, man. I think our D line is up there with the best of them. We they've done so good this season. They've been able to get pressure, stop the run. It's been great. And I think in the future, because we're recruiting a lot of good secondary players, in the future our defense could be unstoppable once we get a good secondary. And so that's just
yeah,
really, really, really exciting to think about. But yeah, those are kind of my big takeaways. Also, the turnover game. That's a it's good that we didn't turn the ball over. It's a little
3
risky.
fumbles, 0
Little,
fumbles lost.
yeah, we got a little close there a few times, but I mean, all that matters is we came up with the ball. So I guess, but yeah, those are the best things about the game to me. But I guess you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go run game as well. I mean, complementary football, run and pass. That's a complete offense right there. If we can do this all season long, it's gonna be even harder for defenses to stop us, no matter who the defense is, really. And I think we proved that today because I think LSU's defense is a good defense. And we were just able to really pick them apart, do whatever we want. You know, up tempo, slow it down. Still consistently scheme guys wide open. Brew was wide open a couple times, had some big plays. Um, Hooker was once again on target. Dude, that deep pass to Jalen Hyatt, crazy throw. I mean, he had some great throws, great runs. Defensively, I'm just excited about the pressure we put on Jaden Daniels. We didn't give him any opportunities to,
Yeah.
you know, take his time and throw the football. And I think that's what everybody called for last week after that Florida game, or I guess a couple weeks ago after that Florida game was just like, all right, what are we doing? Like what we're
Yeah.
not. Our strength is our defensive line. Why aren't we helping them out by sending linebackers in to blitz as well? We're just sitting back there letting them Anthony Richardson pick us apart. But this week we didn't sit back at all. I mean, Jaden Daniels had to
Hey,
throw the ball
guys.
45 times.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but do y'all see the Ole Miss Vanderbilt
Dude,
score?
yeah, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to, but yeah, my dad texted me about that. Vanderbilt.
Oh
Currently,
my
guys, for
goodness.
those listening, for
Sorry,
our
guys.
currently Vanderbilt is up 13-3. Not sure if that's going to stay or not, but
Wow.
anyways,
That's
back
good.
to back to the defensive pressure.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, yeah. Jane Daniels had to throw the ball 45 times. He completed 32 of his passes, 300 yards. But the biggest thing for us is just bend don't break. Like we're not going to give up points easily. We're going to give up a lot of yards, but we're not going to give up points very easily at all. And if we play like that, our offense is going to put up 40, 50 points a game. And it's going to be tough for anybody to compete with us, really. So, yeah, those are my positive takeaways. Just like complete offensive game and a complete defensive game as well.
Before Andrew goes, I want to bring up one other thing. One thing that I'm a little worried about is our penalties. Because if this was a
Yeah.
close game, we could have gotten screwed there, penalizing ourselves and shooting us in the foot, just with the face masks and holding, like, just
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
clean that up. And
Yeah, once Andrew's. Yeah.
part of
Once
the
Andrew goes, we can talk about our negatives if you want.
yeah, I guess, but I just want to say this just real quick before I forget. But like part of the problem is, especially with like the face masks and stuff, they're tackling our defense is tackling a little high. I'll go more into depth on my negatives on that, but it's just frustrating. But yeah, you can go, Andrew.
Yeah, guys. Can y'all hear me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I'm gonna start offensively. Not just the running game. I thought just a balanced offense as a whole, man. Running the ball, throwing the ball, perfect. We were in all gears, just rolling. Good play calls, good reads by Hendon Hooker. If y'all looked, I mean, escaping the pressure when it was there. He knew where it was at. Just smart decision making from the quarterback position. Great on the outside. I mean, dude, all just execution, man. That's really what it comes down to, I think, today. When Tennessee executes like it's drawn up, I mean, it's a game changer. Same thing on defense, man. Playing complementary football, hitting your assignments right. That's things we've talked about all the time. Blowing assignments, blowing, coverages, things like that. And just being able to get some stops when you need to. You know what I mean? I thought they did excellent with that today. And, overall, I feel like we're starting to get to where we really kind of understand what this offense and what this defense can look like later on down the road. So, I'm excited, guys. I thought we just looked going in all gears and all cylinders, today. So, overall, just happy with it.
Special teams was good too.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even really. I mean, I guess we talked about it a little bit, but from a positive standpoint, I mean, you're looking at D. Williams, a guy who hasn't played all season. Comes in first return, 58-yard return. Could have had a touchdown on that too.
Our
That helps out the offense big time for sure.
our special teams hasn't been as good as I would have liked this season, and this game they really stepped it up. I want to bring up Chase McGrath too, man. Dude, that one field goal before the half that he missed, that
Yeah,
wasn't. Almost made that, and that was a really long field goal. It was like I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was in the
wasn't the wind pretty crazy too? It
dude.
seemed like
Yeah,
the wind kind of took that too.
literally, if he kicks it a little bit to the left, it's going in because it just barely dinks uh the goalpost. But yeah,
No, he's
overall,
been really good for us. Yeah,
our special teams played really good this game. I can't.
yeah.
There's not really anything I think that they did bad. But yeah,
All right, we can move into negatives here. Kind of, I don't really like to say negative. I like to say things to work on because
yeah.
there's not many negative things that we had. Like, I mean, you can't be upset with this win as a Vols fan, but we'll get into
No,
things to work on right here. Levi, you can take it.
I'm definitely. It's like mostly defensive stuff. I mean, I might try and think of something real quick for offense too, but the defense, of course, secondaries. I'm not really gonna go too much into that because I mean I've talked about the secondaries so much that
And
I don't
and
want to
it
bring it back
doesn't
to it.
seem like they're gonna get to where we want them this
Yeah,
season.
I
But
mean,
you can go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry.
but tackling. One problem is we get beat and the tackling is horrible. Sometimes they catch the ball, that's fine, but then you got to tackle them. Like it's
Yeah,
fine. Sometimes it's fine to let the other team catch the ball because it's gonna happen. They're gonna be open. But if they're gonna get open, you gotta tackle them. And the problem is some of these defenders they're beat, and so they're tackling too high. And when you tackle as high as they're tackling, they're not gonna bring them down, and then it's just horrible. And then
it's
that
specifically secondary tackling. I
yeah,
think.
and it's also led to some helmet grabbing the helmets, the face masks, because they're tackling so high, they're reaching up and they're accidentally grabbing their helmet, and so it's like it's just frustrating. Penalties that the secondaries in general on offense, I'd say I can't. It's kind of hard to think of something for offense because like they've just been looking so good all season. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, they're not perfect, but like, there's not much I can complain about or like say they need to fix. Like, it's just they've been so good. This is the best game they've played all season, so it's like I don't have much to say. So like, yeah,
I
just
mean, yeah. For I think offensively, for me personally, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I was just thinking like red zone scoring. Like we haven't been great in the red zone. We're still getting points every time we go to the red zone,
yeah,
but we're not getting touchdowns as consistently as I would have liked. I mean, you look at the score at the beginning of the game, we're up 7-0, right? D. Williams with a big return. We're around the 20-yard line. We can't punch it in for a touchdown. So we're up 10-0, right? Then I think maybe the next drive, we get another field goal, so we're up 13-0. If you think about that right there, we could be up 21 nothing. Um,
yeah,
Obviously, it's not that big of a deal because we are getting points in the red zone. It's just not touchdowns like I would like
yeah.
to see more consistently. But I mean, we did have a couple great red zone possessions where that little post pattern to Jalen Hyatt for the touchdown completely blew past his defender. It was wide open for that touchdown.
I'd say the biggest
Um,
problem with the biggest reason for why red zone can be hard for our offense is because since we're a pass heavy offense, the red zone there's not as much space.
yeah,
So it
I
makes it a
agree.
lot
And there's
harder to
not
create something. So
we're also a big play offense, so I agree. Yeah,
yeah,
there's not much. I think there is plays that will work because running game is really good in the red zone for us. Hendon Hooker's running ability is really good in the red zone for us as well.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean that's a little nitpick, but I would just say
yeah.
red zone efficiency as far as scoring touchdowns could be a little bit better, right?
Fumbling.
And the bigger and and fumbling,
Yeah, we gotta. I
fumble.
forgot about
We
that.
gotta take care of the football.
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't lose any of our fumbles. but if we would have, that would have cost us some points potentially.
Well, I think we still win even if one of those
Oh,
goes the other way.
definitely,
But like it's like you
definitely.
can't do that against Bama. We gotta
It's
clean it
it,
up.
Hooker fumbles a couple times a game. I mean, some of those aren't even his fault. I would say.
Well,
The
yeah,
last one probably
yeah,
was. The first one
he,
that he just got blown up. I don't
yeah.
blame him for that.
He just the person didn't block for him. I don't know. I don't remember the other one you're talking. 'Cause I do remember two of
He
the
he
fumbles.
scrambled up the middle, got it punched out from behind. And then Jalen Wright has
Oh
had
yeah, I
issues
know what you're
fumbling the
talking about.
football.
Yeah.
Jalen Wright has had issues fumbling the football all season, but he fumbled it out of bounds right there, so that was
Oh
okay.
yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
defensively, I really can't complain. But some things we do have to improve on. I mean, like I said earlier, secondary is not going to get much better. I don't think. I
Yeah.
really
Well,
can't complain other than tackling,
the
like you were
funny
saying. I
thing
can't.
is the whole game I'm complaining like our defense sucks. We're just leaving them wide open. And then you look at the end of the game, they only scored 13 points on us. And it's
So we're
crazy.
getting them to third and fourth down. Like that's the thing. That's what I was talking about earlier. We're
Yeah.
getting them to third and fourth down, and we got off the field.
For example, that Florida game, it would have been a we would have throttled them if they hadn't gone for fourth down
It
every
would have been
single
a
time.
very similar score if we would have
Yeah.
gotten off the field on fourth down, like we did this game.
And the difference between this game and that game is we were able to stop LSU on fourth down, which is much needed. So now, and that's honestly going to be good for us going forward because now that they've seen that we can stop people on fourth down, in the future teams aren't going to be necessarily as quick as they would be after that watching that Florida game
It's
against
really
Bama.
funny because Brian Kelly definitely played the analytics and was like, "Yeah, this worked. This worked for Florida. It's going to work for us."
Yeah,
And it's just a huge confidence booster, I think, for this defense. It really is.
yeah.
I mean, we dominated in all phases of the game, I think, for sure. But I'll let Levi or Andrew take it away for his things to improve on for this week.
Yeah, no, guys, I think there's just a lot more positives than negatives out of this game, right? So,
Yeah,
overall, you still got to get better penalty wise defensively. I feel like for sure offensively we've been pretty solid, but just like going back to what Levi's saying, face masks, things like that in a game against Bama or Georgia, that's going to cost you huge. That's things you can't afford. You got to play smart, clean football. They did really solid today. I'm going to say they got to be more consistent, man. We saw this defense show up twice now, right? I just want to see more consistency and the play calling and things like that. And obviously, I think our weakness is the zone coverage, right?
yep.
So we always
Yeah.
we do really good with bringing pressure. So I think maybe I'm not saying all the time, but definitely keep that in mind. I think they did a lot of that today, and it showed your weaknesses and where you're good at for sure. But overall, I'd say defensively, just cleaning up penalties, man, and playing the zone coverage. Try to I don't know how. I mean, a week to prepare for Bama, but just being able to clean up things and just play smarter football. I think the turnover game is huge. Keep doing what you're doing, even though we did have zero, I guess, turnovers technically with that. But I mean, like three fumbles, right? Jalen Wright fumbled again. I
Yeah,
noticed when he did that, even though it fumbled out of bounds and it was fine, they still took him out of the game, which is smart.
Yeah. Well, I
Because I
mean,
mean, that's
yeah.
just
Every
letting you
time
know,
he's
hey,
fumbled it this season, he's not
they're
gone
they're
back
saying,
in,
hey,
basically.
that's not cool. You need to, But overall, man, just controlling the ball, man, right? Staying complete dominance of the game. Just keep doing what they're doing, man. I think obviously there's always things to clean up, but honestly, just defensively is the biggest worry for me right now.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they've improved a lot since that Florida game, even, and I think you can blame a lot of the defensive struggles against Florida on that scheme, but I don't think you can blame all of it on this game. Uh, there was a lot of blunt coverages, and we've talked today a lot about how man to man has really been it's been pretty successful for us. We had a few more pass breakups than we have in all the previous weeks combined. Really, it seems like we had a lot more pass breakups today. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, we can move on to our players of the game, unless you all have anything else to say.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
fine with
let's
me.
do it. Let's move on to the players of the game for sure.
All right. I guess Levi, if you want to have, you can do a player of the game, or you can do offensive and defensive, whatever you think.
I think I'll do the offensive defensive. So on offense, I think, it's probably it's a toss up between I don't know, they all it's hard because like everybody played so good. Hendon played
Yeah,
good, Jalen played good, Jabari played good, Brew played good. It's definitely between one of those four for me. I'm probably gonna have to go with Jalen Hyatt just because he stepped it up, but it's really close. It's really close between those four guys. They all played a phenomenal game. Just the offense just was insanely good today. And on defense, it's a little bit harder for me because I don't know. Jeremy Banks had some good stuff go for him, but he also had some I don't know. But I don't know. Joseph's maybe or Byron Young, just whoever got because I don't know exactly who got what sacks, but whoever had the most sacks for us today, that's who
Byron
I
Young had 2.5 sacks, which
okay.
led the team today.
So then I'd say Byron Young uh, is my defensive player of the game, and then of course on special teams, good old D Williams with the player of the game for special teams. But yeah, those are my three players of the game: Jalen, D, and Byron. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Jabari Small for my offensive player of the game. Breakout game for him.
yeah.
Definitely the best game he's played all season, and we needed him big time today, and he definitely came through for us. He had two really big carries. He had that one carry where he literally tripped, or he would have scored a touchdown.
Oh gosh, I
Um,
remember that.
yeah, and then the end of the game, fourth quarter, he had that huge like 50. I think that was his 50-yard run that he had uh, to kind of just put the icing on the cake, so to speak. 22 carries, 127 yards, two touchdowns. On those two touchdowns, he literally walked into the end zone on both of those touchdowns.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
found the gap
I
and just
mean,
hit it really quick. I mean, that
like
was pretty.
both of them. Like they were both short
The
rushes,
blocking
but
was
he was
amazing.
untouched. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
untouched.
big gap.
Um, Defensively, I'm gonna also have to go Byron Young, 2.5 sacks, put the pressure on the
Finally showed
Jaden
up, baby.
Daniels.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm our defensive line is just insane, man. Like
Yeah,
for real,
dude,
really
for
good.
sure. All right, is it on to me? I guess.
Yeah,
Let's see here, man. So I'm gonna be honest. I think you already know who I'm gonna say. It's gonna be Jalen Hyatt. I mean, dude, I've been talking about this guy since the first game. He deserves it, man. He's so humble about himself. I mean, he just continues to work. I'm just happy to see it paying off. I know he's been wanting to do it big time on with some big time opponents, and he's starting. I mean, he just flat out great game by him in an SEC game. You know, we saw him be great in the Ball State and Akron games, but I mean, I'm just happy to see him have success here on the road and just how he carries himself. You know, he's a great guy. Hendon Hooker, he did very good today. I mean, he was 17 for 27. I wouldn't say it was his best day, right? I mean, he still played very efficient, very good. But overall, I think Jalen Hyatt's going to be my guy. Still love. I think everybody did great on that offensive part of the ball today. But Jalen Hyatt's going to be my player on that. Defensively, I'm going to have to say Byron Young too, man. We've been talking about it. I love his story. They kind of talked about it on TV, you know, coming from being a manager at Dollar General and not even knowing your opportunity, right, to be able to play football. Started at a place in Virginia, I think, and took it from there, dude. And he's just excelled. He was sensational today. I felt like, you know, for that deep, just creating pressure and uh, happy to see it. But those are my two players as well, man.
all right, guys. Before we end it off, we can have any final thoughts. But I was thinking, let's what's some early words for Bama? What's some early things going in this Bama game? Just keep it quick, keep it simple. We'll get into that breakdown next week. But what's some early things we have to say for Bama?
Um,
Bust out the cigars, man. I'm just kidding.
Hey, we're
I'm just kidding.
coming. We're
we
coming.
coming, dude.
We're
I'm being
coming.
humble,
That
man. I'm being
stadium,
humble. It's gonna be a good matchup, dude. It's gonna be
that's
wild.
that stadium better be lit, man. It better be on
Yeah.
fire. That's the key to winning that game, I think, for me. It's just the crowd showing up. I mean, of course,
Bryce Young's for sure playing for me too, bro.
our offense needs to show up and our defense needs to show up, and we need to play a good game. But if I think if the crowd's in it, I think we have a real good chance.
This is
Yeah, we're gonna
definitely
have a
They
good
will
this
chance,
be.
is
dude.
They'll be in it.
this is definitely the biggest game we've ever seen as far as
Tennessee
us three
fans.
go. I think as far as we've seen in our lifetimes, definitely.
Yeah, since
I mean,
2016, man,
this
that's probably been it.
number one team coming to town,
5-0.
and you feel like
Undefeated ones.
not only are they like this isn't like every other year. We feel like we have a chance and
Yeah.
a really good chance to win this game, which is
And I
different.
mean,
for us.
mind you, last year we hung with them till the fourth quarter at Bama.
Yep.
So
What
I'm
are we
not
gonna do
saying
this
that
year?
represents
Yep.
anything of what this year's to bring, right? I mean, every year's a new year, a different, team. But
Yeah.
I think we genuinely, this is the best chance I think we've had in a while to actually be able to compete with Bama, especially offensively, man. That's where we've struggled so hard with them.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
We want it too. We want it for
Oh
sure.
yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to it. Nervous, I
Yeah.
mean, we're 5-0 right now, right? So
For sure.
I just want to keep the ball rolling, keep it going. But I have a good feeling about it.
Me too, man.
All right, guys. Any other thoughts before we end off this episode?
Go Vols, baby.
Dude,
Go
this
Vols!
season's
Go
been
Vols,
awesome.
baby.
That's my thoughts, man.
It's been the
been
dream
great.
season, man.
If the season ended today, I would be very happy for sure.
I mean, listen, real take. Season ends today. Hendon Hooker wins Heisman.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
100%. There's no way.
sure.
There's no doubt in my mind. But that's besides the point, man. We got what 7 more games to play. Let's do it. I'm excited. Or wait, 7.
Yeah. That sounds
Oh
right.
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, 7. So I'm excited, dude.
We got two.
We got a tough stretch.
Three big games.
Yeah, 3 big
Three
games,
huge
man.
games left on the schedule for
Kentucky,
sure.
And don't
Tennessee,
get me,
Georgia.
guys. Kentucky's looking for revenge too, man. After last year, I don't care about this season how they've been doing, but it's gonna. I think all these games are gonna be fun to watch, dude.
All three
It's
are
gonna
going
be
to
crazy.
be dog
Yeah.
fights going into that
It's
fourth
gonna be
quarter.
crazy, dude.
Hope
I'm
so.
We're going to
excited,
find
man.
out a lot about this team, even
Yep.
more we found out so far this season for sure. Because so
Sure.
far we're winning all of our toss-up games. Now, can we win some that we didn't think we could win going into this season?
And that's what we're hoping for this week, baby.
Yes, sir.
Let's
Oh,
It's
yes,
Bama
sir,
hate
baby.
week already. It's Bama hate week already.
Go Vols, go Vols, go
All right, guys. All right, with that, we will end it off right here. Thank you all for listening to episode 6 of the VolBoyz
VolBoyz.
podcast, man. Follow us on our social medias at
With a Z,
YouTube,
man. With a
Twitter,
Z.
and Instagram. VolBoyz podcast. Andrew with a Z, baby.
Baby.
With a
Hey,
Z.
and tune into our next episode, all right? Because we might have a special guest coming on
Special guest
to help
coming
us
soon,
break
boys.
down this Bama game. So thank you all for listening,
Yeah,
and
Nick
just go
Saban,
Vols,
question
baby.
mark?
Go Vols, baby.
Go Vols.
Yeah, it might be Nick Saban coming on next
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
It might
yeah.
be. You never know.
Dude, it is.
Go Vols, baby.
Go Vols.
The Tennessee Volunteers are back. They're